This is Paul. Yes. Yeah, I'm just standing here. It rained last night and I'm not able to sit down. Yeah. I know I could sit someplace else, but I thought I'd stand up this morning because I'm used to standing here. I made a lot of videos, maybe 15,000 of them, and nobody's watched them. You have no idea who I am. You don't know, and you're going to continue to act like you don't know. Now, the nice part about denying any knowledge of any wrongdoing is you can continue to do that. You could sit there in your office and say, well, I never watched any videos, I never received any emails. I have no knowledge of the violating of the civil rights of American citizens. And when I was spending a little time yesterday at the library, I found out that the United States is involved in NATO. It's as if I just denied the existence of other nations. They don't exist. They're not here in Clallam County. There are no other nations of the world that have any knowledge of what the United States is doing. See, I know it says there's no views, and YouTube never lies, isn't that right? I mean, there's no possible way that any person has ever seen any videos that I made documenting forgeries, fraud. Yeah. And you, as a county, decide to sit here in your little corner of the world and act like there are no other nations of the world. Pooh. Now, let's say there was another nation that had some knowledge about what the United States is doing. And they found out that the United States is actually liable for the support and defense of the Constitution of the nation. And some corrupt politicians decided that they would issue court orders where I wasn't a resident of Washington State. You remember that in July 8th of 2011? Heidi had me arrested on Guam, a United States territory. And it was one of these situations where she made up a story of domestic violence and child abuse. Yes. But you don't think other nations know. I mean, there's no possible way that there could be another nation other than the United States of America. I thought about how powerful the United States was last night. Pooch. It seems that the power structure of the United States is actually in the hands of those that are elected to office. Now let's see, what is power? Oh, do you have the power today? Oh, you're the one elected to office or appointed to office, and in your mind, I have the power, and I'm not going to enforce the constitutional requirements of due process. I'm not going to enforce the equal protections of the law. I'm not going to enforce the privileges and immunities of the citizens of the United States. I'm kind of going to kick the Constitution around right now. Now, I can tell you this county's really upset me this morning. Yes, they really did. And you got appointed to be a Superior Court judge, did you? Oh, because you're an arrogant asshole that thinks that other nations have nothing to say about what the United States does. Now, I know I've emailed the state legislature this morning, and they don't answer emails. The governor doesn't answer an email. Isn't that right, Governor? Ouch. I know we just had an election, and I talked about the election that you had so that you wouldn't have to enforce the actual requirements of the laws. In fact, yesterday I went through the 15 Superior Court cases and then the Superior Court cases that weren't documented. Pooh! It seems that the county thinks that as long as no one knows, we can continue to corrupt this nation and other nations. Now, when you really start to think about the actual liability to other nations, exactly how much power does the United States have? How much power does the United States have? Excuse me, Judge. How much power is there in the United States of America? Now, I'm thinking, yes, that some local politicians thought they had all the power. And then there's some state oaths of office, Governor Jay Inslee, that thought he had the power. Woo! But when I look at the United States and the power that it has, I think the power of the nation is actually in the hands of the employees of the government of the nation. See, if we removed all the employees of the government, how much power would the United States have? Not a lot. See, power is something that's a concept that is given to those elected to office. And when those that are elected to office decide they will not support and defend the Constitution, the other nations look at the United States as being powerless, as in, there is no power in the United States of America. Now, I'm going to talk to some other nations today, okay? Because this NATO infrastructure that they have over there in Europe, yes. Why don't you give me all the members of NATO and the council? Oh, in fact, I was looking at an admiral from Denmark. They have a navy in Denmark. It looks like the United States is powerless. Pooch. They have no power. See, they would rather appoint corrupt politicians to positions of power. Yes. Give them the authority and the jurisdiction of law when they have knowledge that the Constitution is not supported and defended. Now, I'm just a citizen, okay? I know you're in control. Pooh! You have all the power today. The problem is other nations, yes, having any knowledge right now.